Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that pass! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! Welcome along to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the match in the FA Cup. It's the Super Sunday Part 2 as this FA Cup Live as Aston Villa take on Tottenham Hotspurs in the FA Cup. Kick-off is very much fast approaching. The two teams get ready to emerge from the tunnel and filling still here at Villa Park, where Plymouth knocked out Liverpool by a goal to nil. I'll keep you updated with all the other scores at half-time and again at full time, with the teams getting ready to make the way out onto the field of play. Let me bring in, before we get ready for the teams to come out, let me bring in your match commentator Paul James, who can bring you the team news for this game with any headline changes for both Aston Villa and Tottenham coming into this match today.
Yes, thank you, Russ. Good afternoon, everybody. Quite an act to follow on this second game after Plymouth's massive upset against Liverpool. Well, there's Villa, who have made two changes following their defeat to Wolves. Leon Bailey and Daniel Mallon come in for Lamore, Bogarde and Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins does not even make the bench tonight. And for Spurs, who could exit two cup competitions in the space of 4 days today, make four changes. Pedro Porro, Mikey Moore, Lucas Bergvall and Matthias Tal step in for Ben Davis, Yves Bissouma, Pape Sarr and Richarlison, who misses out completely. It's seven-time FA Cup winner seven-time FA Cup winner Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur. Back to you, Ross. Kick off in about 5 minutes' time.
Yes, kick off very shortly in the game between Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur at Villa Park this afternoon, and we're getting ready to hand over to your match commentator Paul James very soon. As soon as we get wind that the teams are making their way out of the tunnel, we'll hand over to Paul then for your match this afternoon. We'll bring you bang up to date with everything that's taking place today. We'll kick off very much fast approaching at Villa Park in what's going to be a big game in the Midlands tonight. We've already seen a shock in the FA Cup today. Wonder if we'll see Tottenham go out of the FA Cup this afternoon as well. Brilliant, good afternoon for everybody. It is today. Let's see what part 2 of our Super Sunday happens today with game 1 seeing Plymouth Argyle of the Championship knock out Premier League leaders Liverpool. Liverpool not do a quadruple this season, this time around, as Plymouth knock them out of the FA Cup. We'll kick off very much fast approaching in around about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll land over to Paul James very, very shortly to bring you the teams up with the teams emerging from the tunnel right now. We've already heard what the team changes are. We'll probably bring you in for the match coverage. Paul, do you think Spurs will progress today, or do you think Aston Villa with their strong lineup will potentially knock Spurs out of two competitions in the space of 4 days, my friend?
Well, I think both sides are going to be desperate for it. They're going to be absolutely desperate for it, because this is realistically the only competition that I think either side can win. Spurs may see the Europa League as a possibility, but I think winning the FA Cup for the first time since 1991 would be a much higher trophy to claim. Villa, well, 7-time winners anyway, so they'll be looking for an 8th one as well.
Yes, if we were to just push you quickly on the prediction, score-wise, what do you reckon, Paul, today?
Oh, it's going to be very tight, Ross. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for either side. I think it's going to be very, very tight indeed. Both sides have got pretty strong lineups out there. I can only see one goal separating it, to be honest.
Yes, let's see who gets that one goal then in the company of match commentator Paul James.
All right, thank you, Russ. And once again, good afternoon, everybody. Earlier on today, Plymouth Argyle knocked Liverpool out, completing an act that only Tottenham Hotspur and Nottingham Forest have done this season, beating Liverpool in a game of football. Well, we've got quite an act to follow, but our first job of the day is to examine the two starting lineups. And we'll start with Aston Villa, with Emiliano Martinez in goal. The back four is Luca Dean, Ezri Konsa, Boubacar Kamara, and Andres Garcia. The two holding midfielders are Yuri Tielemans, John McGinn, and the attacking midfielders are Jacob Ramsey, Morgan Rogers, Leon Bailey, all behind Daniel Mallard, holding the line for Aston Villa. Well, for Tottenham Hotspur and its under-pressure manager, Ange Postecoglou, this is a vital game for them. This is the lineup he has chosen to go with. It's Antoine Kaninski in goal, Jed Spence, Archie Gray, Kevin Danso, and Pedro Porro are the back four. Rodrigo Bentancur and Lucas Bergvall are the holding midfielders. The captain, Son Heung-min, Dejan Kulusevski, and Mikey Moore are all behind the Dutch international Matthias Taal. Well, the substitutes today, Aston Villa are too short on substitutes today, just 7, and two of those are goalkeepers, Robin Olsen and Oliver Zeich, with Marco Asensio could make his Villa debut today, Lemur Bogarde, Jamel Dean, Ian Matson, and of course Marcus Rashford. I'm sure you'll see him at some point today, signing from Manchester United. Spurs have a full 9 substitutions, 2 of them goalkeepers. Brandon Austin, Fraser Forster are the 2 goalkeepers. Damola Ajayi, Yves Bissouma, Dante Casanova, Ben Davis, Malachi Hardy, Sergei Reguilon, and Pape Sarr. Our referee today is Mr. Anthony Taylor. He's from Wythenshawe in Greater Manchester. Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn on the lines, and Simon Hooper in VAR. In fourth official duty. There is no VAR in this stage of the competition. And Spurs are about to get us underway. Attacking the Holt end at Villa Park. That's the goal to our left. And the ball is played forward over the halfway line, headed down there by Morgan Rogers. It's cleared forward, looking for Daniel Mallon, but it goes all the way through to the young Czech goalkeeper Kinski. And he releases the ball to Archie Gray, gives the ball back to Kinski. Kinski holds the ball up, plays it to Jed Spence down that left-hand side. The ball is played forward by Spence to Taal, but Taal is unable to keep the ball in play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Aston Villa. Midway inside the Tottenham half of the field, and it's taken quickly by Garcia. Garcia throws the ball back to the number 4 for Aston Villa, Ezri Konsa. It's played across to Luca Dean. Luca Dean, infield there to Tielemans. That's a good ball to Morgan Rogers, inside the centre circle. Over the halfway line by Rogers. He plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Here's a real chance. The shot, and it's a goal! And Kinski will be very disappointed with that. On exactly 1 minute, it's Jacob Ramsey with the goal, and Aston Villa take a 1-goal lead after just 1 minute of play. Well, Ange Postecoglou looks on shocked. Kinski looks horrified. He really should have done better. But within 1 minute, Villa have the lead at Villa Park. And are we in for another cracker on this Super Sunday today? It's 1-0 to the Villains. And it started off with a fantastic little run by Morgan Rogers. Plays the ball through to Jacob Ramsey. Way too much room in that Spurs defence. But my goodness me, you have to say, Kinski really needs to do better there. And you can see the shot here. Well, it's almost right at him. And it just bounces off him and goes above him and into the net. And I suspect we'll hear from some very angry Spurs fans later on YouTube. But yes, that's a terrible goal to concede from Tottenham's perspective. And Villa have a corner already. They're not resting on their laurels. Jacob Ramsey on 1 minute is the difference maker so far. It's a corner to Villa. And Luca Dean just seems to be, is he trotting over there to take it? I think he's actually going to leave it. Just trying to see. It's going to be Jacob Ramsey who is going to be taking it over on that left-hand side. And Ange Postecoglou, well, he could exit 2 competitions in 4 days here. Ball comes back here to John McGinn. McGinn swings across in, headed out by Bergvall. And it's picked up here by Morgan Rogers. Rogers drops the ball back. And picked up there by Jacob Ramsey and goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez. Martinez releases the ball. Here's Tielemans. Is he fouled there? The referee calls a halt to play. Yes, Tielemans is fouled there by Kulusevski, and it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. Well, this is not what Spurs want coming off a 2-0 defeat to Wolves in the Premier League. This is not what they want at all. And well, the ball is now here with the number 16 for Aston Villa, Garcia. He goes back to the goalkeeper. Martinez releases it. Sorry, not 2-0 defeat to Wolves. I'll just correct myself. It was a 4-0 defeat to Liverpool. And here is Tielemans. Tielemans drops the ball back. And across there by Konsa to Boubacar Kamara, and here's John McGinn now. Inside the centre circle and over the halfway line comes Jacob Ramsey, the goal scorer. Ramsey cuts inside brilliantly, just plays the ball on to Rogers, quick 1-2 there. Here's John McGinn, out onto the left-hand side. Luca Dean plays the ball forward, but it's a poor ball to Jacob Ramsey. But the build-up play was excellent from Villa there, as once again Spurs finding themselves on the back foot. And a poor pass really by Luca Dean in the end as Kinski lays it out. And it's now picked up at the back here. Oh, there's a foul and it's a free kick. And a rather angry looking Tottenham defender, Kevin Danso there. He's alleged to have committed the foul on Donyell Malen. Let's just take a look at it again. Actually, to be fair, there didn't look a lot in that. Donyell Malen certainly made more of that than needed to be made. It might have caught him, but it didn't honestly look a lot in it. It's a free kick to Aston Villa though, as Donyell Malen, Boubacar Kamara, Ezri Konsa all lining up there, and it's going to be John McGinn, the Villa captain, with this free kick. It's just a couple of yards in from the touchline on the left-hand side. Almost level with the Spurs penalty area. It comes in now. Oh, it escapes everybody. It goes right to the back post. And picking the ball up here now is the number 11 for Tottenham, Matthias Tal. He just allows that ball to go out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Spurs. Here's Jed Spence. Spence drops the ball back to Archie Gray, who lifts it forward. He only manages to find Ezri Konsa though, and that ball goes out of play off Konsa, and it's going to be another throw-in for Tottenham, level with their own penalty area down their own left-hand side. It's going to be Jed Spence that is going to take this one. And it's Rogers. He's dispossessed there by Bergvall. And now Spurs coming forward. It's Kulusevski, plays the ball across to Mikey Moore. Moore overlapping there is the number 23 Pedro Porro. It's picked up by Porro. Porro drops the ball back and into the centre circle and across there to Archie Gray. Gray plays it down the left-hand side here to Matthias Tal. Tal drops the ball back to Archie Gray again, and it just back over the halfway line and into their own half of the field. Jed Spence sends it back to Archie Gray, who plays it back to Kinski. How will the young goalkeeper react to his early error? Well, that remains to be seen. Here's Archie Gray, gives the ball to Spence. He's about midway inside his own half of the field. Here's Gray again. Slow build up by Tottenham Hotspur. And it's played forward here. And drop back there to Kevin Danso. Danso gives the ball back to Kinski in the Villa goal. In the Tottenham goal. And here's Archie Gray. Gray drops the ball back to Kinski. Here's Danso. Danso just turns away there from Donyell Malen and just hands the ball to Archie Gray. Gray to Jed Spence. Spence back to Gray. Spurs at the moment just keeping the ball within their own half of the field at the moment. They're not really going anywhere. Here's Porro. Flicked over the halfway line and Spurs maintain possession. Here's Mikey Moore now. He's got Kamara in front of him. Here's Mikey Moore. Cuts inside. Drops the ball back there to Porro. Porro back to the centre circle to Archie Gray. Gray to Spence. Spence, that's a good ball to Mateus Tell, who seems to have moved from the middle to the left-hand side. Plays the ball forward to Son Heung-min. Plays the ball there to Tell. Tell just takes the ball towards the corner flag down that left-hand side. Tell tries to get the cross in. It takes a deflection. Is there a push in the penalty area? There is, on by Kulishevsky on Boubacar Kamara. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. 1-0 to Villa in this game so far. We've had 8 minutes gone here, and got a free kick to Aston Villa, which Martinez is going to take. The Argentinian Golden Glove winner goes long, looking for, well, he was looking really there for Leon Bailey, but that was good work by Jed Spence. Wins that header. Here's Gray. And now, here is Bergvall. Danso. Inside his own half of the field, plays the ball over the halfway line looking for Porro, but Porro really fails to control that, and it goes out of play. And throw in to Aston Villa. You can see here as well, as at the goal really it's very poor. I mean, it's not just Kinski, it's very poor defending by Tottenham. I mean, in that position, Jacob Ramsey just has way too much space there. And Kinski looking, well, he's reprimanding himself there, but that goal is the difference, and that it can be a real confidence breaker for a goalkeeper. And of course for a defence at large as well, relying on one thing a defence really does appreciate is the confidence to have a goalkeeper at the back who you can rely on to steal a game or two. Anyway, it's a free kick to Aston Villa. And it's Boubacar Kamara standing over it. And across there to Luca Dean. Luca Dean tries to play the ball forward to Jacob Ramsey, but Ramsey is dispossessed. Here's Bergvall. Bergvall tries to find Mikey Moore, but the ball goes out of play away from Mikey Moore, and it's going to be a throw-in for Aston Villa, as Tottenham really struggling to just put singular passes together. And creativity in the final third of the field just isn't there for Spurs right now. The ball is played forward. Here's Ramsey. Luca Dean. Good ball there to McGinn. McGinn going over the halfway line. This is good work from John McGinn. Plays the ball across there to Tielemans. Finds Morgan Rogers as he just tries to skip away. It's back with John McGinn again as Villa streaming forward now. Oh, that's a good ball to Garcia. He's got Bailey up alongside him. Here's Bailey. Bailey has got Tal in front of him. It's back with Bailey again. Bailey now cuts into the penalty area. He just pulls back. Plays the ball across here to Tielemans. Tielemans goes down under the challenge. The referee says play on. And, well, almost losing it there was John McGinn, but it's picked up here by Garcia. And Garcia drops the ball back into the centre circle to Boubacar Kamara. Kamara just over the halfway line for Tielemans and finds Morgan Rogers. Rogers has got Jacob Ramsey overlapping. He finds Ramsey. Ramsey now down the left-hand side, back to Rogers, and the ball goes across there to Luca Dean, but it's now back with Rogers, and a quick flick there by John McGinn, just back into the centre circle to Konsa, across to Kamara. Kamara pick the ball, quick 1-2 there with McGinn, and here's McGinn again. McGinn gives the ball to Tielemans. Back to McGinn. Oh, that's a good ball forward there to Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey gives the ball to Dean. Dean back to Ramsey. He's about 40 yards from goal. Morgan Rogers, beautiful football by Villa. Luca Dean, can he get the cross in? But it takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner. It was a good interception by Pedro Porro, getting his back on that. And it's going to be a corner, but you can see the difference between the two sides. When Villa come forward, the creative one-touch passing is there. It's not really there for Tottenham, and Villa, as a consequence, have a second corner here as they look to add to their 1-goal lead. And it's going to be taken by Ramsey. Swings this one in. Oh, it's headed up into the air by Bergvall. Son tries to flick the ball on, but it's won back really, really well there by Garcia. Garcia cuts into the penalty area. Garcia, oh, he gets caught between possibly shooting and possibly crossing, and the ball goes high, wide, and not so handsome. And with 13 minutes gone here, it's Villa 0, Tottenham 0 at Villa Park here. Oh, it nearly went under the goalkeeper for a second there. The back pass there nearly went under the goalkeeper, but Villa now have got the ball again, and it's turned and shot by Donyell Malen. And over the crossbar, Spurs once again give the ball away inside their own half of the field. Well, it started with a back pass that nearly went under the goalkeeper's foot. He then clears it, does Kinski, and it's intercepted by Garcia. And it's just chaos in the Spurs defence at the moment, and in the Spurs backline. Donyell Malen just turns and gets a shot away there. It's over the crossbar, and it is not looking good for Tottenham Hotspur right now. Luke Turton's in, says evening. Good evening, Luke. And Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says good afternoon, as it still is a bit for a bit. Russ and Paul, well, let's see what Game 2 on Super Sunday holds with Game 1 with Plymouth and Liverpool. The ultimate shock of the round. Agreed with that, definitely. And here's Tielemans, plays the ball forward to Morgan Rogers. Rogers down the right-hand side now, and here's Leon Bailey as Villa coming forward once again. Overlapping is Garcia. Bailey cuts inside. Bailey with a shot and a super save by Kinski. Oh, that'll give him some confidence. That was a good save, but here's Donyell Malen now for Villa. It's back with Ramsey. Ramsey drops the ball to Dean. And it's Tielemans. And there is Kamara. Konsa. Villa still coming forward with Garcia. Very impressive down this right-hand side. Gives the ball to Bailey. Here's John McGinn. Is he going to launch it in? No, he plays the ball across to Tielemans. And Ramsey tries to play the ball through to Donyell Malen, but Kevin Danso deals with that. It's clear and so. He's only as far as Kamara. Here's McGinn. Back to Kamara again. Kamara over onto the left-hand side to Luca Dean. 15 minutes gone here, and it's Villa who are well in control of this game at this time. And it's back with the goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez. And across there from Kamara, played forward, looking for, I think that's Luca Dean that's gone down there on the far side from the challenge from Pedro Porro. No, it's actually Jacob Ramsey who's down. He's just clutching the bottom of his leg there. Late challenge by Pedro Porro. Free kick, nothing more. As we take a look at that effort from Leon Bailey, a good save by Kinski this time. His earlier out takes a deflection as well, which makes the save even better. Hopefully for him, that will give him a little bit of confidence. And it's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur. As it's going to be taken over on that far side by Jed Spence, former Nottingham Forest player, of course. He's just holding the ball right now. He's not sure where he's going to go with this at the moment, and he finally throws it to Matthias Tal, but it just bounces off the Dutchman and out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Aston Villa. And Postecoglou looking on under pressure. That if Villa win this, you've got to assume there's going to be more calls for the Australians' head as the ball is played long. Chasing it down is Jacob Ramsey. Oh, he put Kevin Danso under a lot of pressure there. But the ball rolls behind for a goal kick. Luke says loved Spency at Forest. Well, he's probably out of the back four. He's probably the pick of the back four, really, for Spurs. Here's Danso now, clears the ball forward, but he only manages to put that ball out of play. And it's another throw-in for Villa inside the Spurs half of the field, about 10 yards inside to be exact, down the right-hand side. And it's now back with Kamara. And now here's Konsa. And back with Boubacar Kamara again, and it's two played to Tielemans. Oh, an inspired run by Tielemans, all the way to the edge of the area, gets a shot away and it just whistles wide. Oh, I say, that was a fantastic run by the Belgian. Yuri Tielemans storming over the halfway line. You just see it here, he's completely unchallenged. Nobody closes him down, all the way to the edge of the D. And well, Kinski was scrambling, but the shot was wide. I don't know if the Czech was going to get there, but that really would have been a fantastic goal. And the ball is played out now by Emiliano Martinez. That went all the way through to the goalkeeper. Here is Luca Dean. He goes back to Kamara. And across there to Aston Villa's number 4, Ezra Konsa. And here's Kamara again. Kamara plays it across to Dean. Just on that left-hand side, still inside the Villa half of the field. Yuri Tielemans, a foul there on him by Lucas Bergvall. There can't be any complaints. He was legitimately caught. John McGinn now having words as to whether or not Lucas Bergvall should be shown a yellow card. It was an accident. He caught him at the back, I think, with the bottom of his foot. Free kick, nothing more at this point. And I honestly don't believe players should be hounding referees for yellow cards in that sort of situation either. Here's Garcia now for Villa, and he goes back to Konsa. Here's John McGinn under pressure by Lucas Bergvall, but John McGinn turns away brilliantly and plays the ball forward to Leon Bailey. Bailey just trying to get away from Gray, but Gray marshals that very, very well. The ball goes out of play, and it's a throw-in for Villa, almost level with their own penalty area down the right-hand side. And well, so far Tottenham really not threatening. It's really been all Villa in this first half, really since the moment one. Here's Daniel Malen. He still maintains possession as Malen finds Jacob Ramsey again. Can he get inside the penalty area? Ramsey one more time. Oh, he pulls the ball wide. Oh, I say, well, what an opportunity. Jacob Ramsey, Villa have had their chances to increase this lead. What brilliant pass from Daniel Malen. Once again, Spurs caught out on that right-hand side, and the shot this time was pulled wide by Ramsey. But Spurs are having trouble dealing with Ramsey on that right-hand side, even though the finish was not fantastic. Excuse me a moment, throat is drying up. There we go. 7 efforts by Villa on the goal, 2 actually on target, none for Spurs. Really explains a lot of how this game has gone on. Here's Garcia. And now Leon Bailey. Bailey cuts inside. That's a good challenge by Lucas Bergvall that time. The ball is played forward by Jed Spence, but Son Heung-min goes down under the challenge, the Spurs captain, and it's going to be a free kick. As Son Heung-min and Boubacar Kamara have a discussion about that challenge. Anthony Taylor has said it's going to be a free kick. Let's take a look. Looks like a coming together of the two players. It's hard to tell from that replay. Goes back with to Archie Gray now from Jed Spence. Gray goes across there to Danso. Danso plays the ball forward, looking for the chasing Mikey Moore, but that's way too far ahead of him, and it goes through to the goalkeeper. As we take a look at the Spurs owner, Daniel Levy, and well, there has been a lot of pressure on him to sell up and go, not just on Ange Postecoglou. Here is John McGinn gives the ball away. It's a poor pass, rare for him. Here's Jed Spence. Jed Spence pulls the ball back here to Bentancur. Bentancur across there to Danso. Danso back from Porro. Danso across to Gray. Gray just holds the ball up. And there's Bentancur. Back to Gray. Gray over the halfway line to Mateus Tal, who seems to have operated mostly down the left-hand side. And he drops the ball back to Jed Spence. Good work by Jed Spence, but there's a foul here by the former Nottingham Forest man, and it's Leon Bailey who's down. Jed Spence protesting his innocence. And again, don't they all? Well, it's a coming together more than anything else, isn't it? It's I wouldn't exactly call that a foul, but it's a free kick nevertheless. And here's Boubacar Kamara. Kamara plays the ball forward, chasing it now is Donyell Mallon. And his, Spurs, Aston Villa streaming forward, looking to help Mallon. Mallon plays the ball through to Ramsey again. Oh, he fails to control the ball, Ramsey. And Ramsey and Mallon are connecting so well in this game. But Ramsey just failed to control it properly, and it rolled through to Kinski. And now Spurs are on the break, and it's Mikey Moore now. Spurs with a real chance, into the middle to Son. Oh, super save by Emiliano Martinez. What a fantastic stop. Point blank on Son Heung-min. That really should have been 1-1, but a super save by the Argentinian World Cup winner. The ball was played to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore's ball into the box was superb. And Son Heung-min hit it first time, making it even harder for the Argentinian goalkeeper. But that is a super save. And that keeps Villa level. That keeps Villa, rather, in the lead. Their one-goal lead intact. But Villa caught out at the back that time. And Spurs need more of that going forward. As down right now is, looks like Yuri Tielemans, who is down there right now. As it is so, we'll just go through the scores from the earlier games if you missed it. Blackburn Rovers 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Of course, the big shock of the day, Plymouth Argyle 1, Liverpool 0. The goal by Ryan Hardy on 53 minutes was enough to send Liverpool crashing out of the FA Cup. And, well, that was quite a shock. Russ brought that game to you earlier on. Great job, Russ. Fantastic all-round commentary there. Really enjoyed listening to... I listened to last part of the game. I thought it was really good. And here's Jacob Ramsey looking at his goal again. And you can see it. Again, the more I look at this, the more I become really shocked at the goalkeeping. But that's the difference between the two sides right now. Looks like we're preparing for a Villa substitution here. Just trying to see who's going to come on for the Villains. It is going to be Lamara Bagade, if anybody's coming on, and he is preparing himself to come on. And it looks like, is it Konsa actually? It looks like it might be Konsa coming off here. I'm just trying to see now whether, I think it is, yes, it's Ezri Konsa coming off. So that is a huge loss for Villa. He is coming off right now. And Villa forced into an early substitution. And that is a great shame for Ezri Konsa. And obviously a great shame for Aston Villa as a whole, and they're going to be hoping, given the fact that they are chasing European places, that is not a long-term injury. Well, he's able to come off, so it may not be that serious. He's able to walk off. He's not being carried off. As Spurs give the ball back to Aston Villa by throwing the ball behind. So Lamare Bagade is on. He's wearing number 26 for Aston Villa, if you're following along with the pictures. And finally we get this game back underway. Oh, it's almost a terrible giveaway. In fact, it is by Tielemans. And, well, across there was Dejan Kulishevsky trying to get the cross in, but Villa just looking shaky at the back all of a sudden. And the ball given away there by Luca Dean. And now Spurs have a throw-in level with the Villa 6-yard box as they're looking to try to get themselves back into this game before half-time. As throw-in is going to be taken by Porro over on that far side. Drops it down there to Mateus Tal. It goes all the way back to the halfway line. And it's picked up by Gray. Gray gives the ball to Danso. Danso over the halfway line. It's flicked on, but trying to win that ball back. Oh, that's good play. And the ball's played forward there, looking for the chasing Son Heung-min, but there's just too much on that pass from Danso, and it goes all the way through to the Villa goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez, who that save really has kept Villa's lead intact. Ball played forward to Daniel Malen, and that's a free kick. Foul by Dejan Kulishevsky that time. And the free kick is just inside the Villa half of the field. And it's going to be taken quickly here by Tielemans. Drops the ball back to Kamara. Kamara back to Emiliano Martinez over the halfway line. Header won by Gray. It's a good header down there, picked up by Lucas Bergvall. He's not just able to maintain possession. And here comes Bailey now for Villa. Overlapping is Malen. Bailey wants to go on his own. Good save by Kinski. Oh, and a chance again for Ramsey. Oh, he could have had a hat-trick today. And he puts it into the side netting. But my goodness me, the chances that Villa have had today, are they going to live to regret some of these chances? Bailey's effort here forced a really good save from the goalkeeper. It was a very tight angle anyway for Jacob Ramsey, and he puts it into the side netting. Bailey, well, you know, the Spurs defence are just standing off. I do not know, it actually hits the outside of the post, that. I do not know what Kinski is actually supposed to do as a goalkeeper at the moment. Because there is little to no defensive help from Spurs at all at the moment. Whenever Villa come forward, here's Tal. Tal plays the ball into the number 30, Bentancur. Across there to Porro. Picked up by Mikey Moore, just moving towards the centre. Drop back to Danso. Danso across to Porro. Porro just on the halfway line goes for a long pass. It's a super ball across to Matthias Tal, but Tal slips. He maintains possession, the Dutchman there, does very well. Drops it back to Jed Spence. Spence across to Bentancur. Good ball from Bentancur to Porro. Here's Mikey Moore now. He's had a little bit of joy on that right-hand side, Mikey Moore. He gives the ball to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky tries to swing the ball in. That's a really good block by Jacob Ramsey. And Daniel Malen fighting to win that ball back. It goes out of play and it's going to be a throw-in. And so much of Villa's attack has come through Daniel Malen in this first half. Here's Bergvall. Bergvall, he's about 30 yards out. Might try a shot, Bergvall, but it's over the crossbar. And it's going to be a goal kick for Aston Villa. We've 15 minutes to go until half-time at Villa Park. And Ross will remind you of all the FA Cup scores at the weekend at half-time, and then we'll probably take a short break before the start of the second half. In this double header that we've had today, earlier on Plymouth winning by 1-0 against Liverpool in a stunning shock at home park. Despite all their troubles in the Championship, what a superb performance today by Plymouth to knock out the mighty Reds. And here comes Spurs now with Bentancur. Oh, that's a really good challenge by Tielemans. And coming forward now is Morgan Rogers. He's got options left and right as Rogers. He may go on his own. That's a good save again by Kinski. And following in is Daniel Malen, but the ball goes way over and wide. The chances that Villa have had in this first half, as once again Thomas Kinski comes to the rescue there with a really superb save. Just getting down to his right-hand side, Antonin Kinski. Good piece of goalkeeping one more time. I mean, he's obviously made up for his earlier error at least. As Luca Dean goes back to Martinez. Martinez releases the ball. And here's Bagade. Bagade across there to Luca Dean. Bagade on, of course, for the injured Ezri Konsa. The ball is lifted forward here for Garcia. Garcia just holds back. Got Matthias Tal in front of him. Drops it back to John McGinn, the Villa captain. And McGinn has got the ball inside the centre circle with Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans to Bagade. Bagade holds the ball up. And he just drops it back into the centre circle to Kamara. Villa just maintaining possession right now. McGinn gives the ball to Garcia. Garcia drops the ball back there to Bagade. Bagade will likely go all the way back to Martinez. Indeed he does. And across to Luca Dean. Dean, good ball forward there by Yuri Tielemans. Nipping in and winning that ball back was Jed Spence. Good play by him. Here's Lucas Bergvall. Good ball out onto the right-hand side to Mikey Moore. Can he get the cross in? Oh, that's a good block by Luca Dean, and that goes behind for Tottenham's first corner of the game with 33 minutes gone. And, well, we got time ticking down until half-time. Gray coming up for this corner as well, as Spurs desperately looking for an equaliser before half-time. Corner is going to be taken by Pedro Porro. Spurs' first one of the game. Looks like he's going to outswing this. Indeed he does. It's header won by Tielemans. Knocked on by Jacob Ramsey out of the penalty area. Only as far as Jed Spence. Jed Spence tries to lift the ball forward. Boubacar Kamara trying to bring the ball down. It's scrappy play at the moment. Oh, that's a good ball through by Mikey Moore. Chasing it was Son Heung-min, but reading it very, very well was the Frenchman, Luca Dean. And he puts the ball out of play for a throw-in down the right-hand side, level with the penalty area for Tottenham Hotspur. Throw-in taken quickly. It's now back with Danso. Midway inside the Villa half of the field. We've got 10 minutes to go till half-time. It's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Picked up here by Tal. Tal gives the ball to Bergvall. Bergvall, Villa having 57% possession control of this game. It's now with Gray. Villa pressing Spurs back. It's across to Kevin Danso. Kevin Danso is going to be forced to go all the way back to Kinski. Kinski holding the ball up on the edge of his own penalty area, releases the ball to Danso. And he gives the ball to Gray, midway inside his own half of the field. Gray lifts the ball forward, chasing this one now is Mateus Tal, but he's alleged to have fouled Garcia there, and it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. And it's substitutes warming up for both sides. I'm sure we're going to see some additional substitutions, maybe even at half-time, because Spurs, well, they're not playing at their very best right now for sure. One real chance for Son Heung-min that was saved very well by Emiliano Martinez, but that's about as good as it's got for Spurs in this first half. Here's Bergvall. Gives the ball to Porro. Porro tries to play the ball through there to Kulusevski. It's intercepted, and now Villa can come forward again. It's Morgan Rogers. Good ball out to Jacob Ramsey again. Ramsey plays the ball through here, and the cross coming in, and well, it was blocked that time by Archie Gray. Fell kindly for Kinski. Cross coming in by Ramsey there from the ball from Rogers. Here's Spurs now on the ball. It's Mikey Moore. He's taken down, and it's going to be a free kick. Yuri Tielemans responsible for that foul. As we see Mikey Moore just trying to get away from Yuri Tielemans. Late challenge. No further action taken by Mr. Anthony Taylor. And here's Kevin Danso. Danso across to the right-hand side. It's Mikey Moore again. There's a quick 1-2 with Pedro Porro. Drop back to the halfway line here to Danso. And across to Bentancur. Bentancur options to the left-hand side. He finds Jed Spence. Spence plays the ball forward to Mateus Tal. Seems that throughout this game, Tal has switched to the left-hand side with Son moving into the middle. Here's Garcia now for Villa. Under pressure from Lucas Bergvall. Bergvall puts the ball out of play. And it is a throw into the Villains, which is taken quickly by Garcia. And the ball is played forward there and brought down by Donyell Malen. Not the best first touch. Bentancur nips in and wins that back. Does a quick 1-2 with Archie Gray. And coming over the halfway line now is Pedro Porro. He's got options to his right for Mikey Moore. Moore holds the ball up. Here's Bentancur again. Across to Archie Gray. Down the left-hand side here now is Matthias Tal. Tal cuts inside. Tries to go for the cross to the back post. That's headed out by Luca Dean. Only as far as Porro. Porro launches the ball into the penalty area again. Chested down by Garcia and hacked away. And now, oh, that's a free kick, surely. Foul by Archie Gray, and that's got to be the first yellow card, surely. It was a professional foul on Matthias Tal, but the referee opting to keep his cards in his pocket. No attempt to win the ball. I mean, he just climbs on the back of Daniel Mallon, does Archie Gray. I think he's got away with one there, in my opinion. And it's a free kick to Aston Villa anyway. And here's Luca Dean. Luca Dean taking the ball over the halfway line. Drops it back to to Kamara. And across to Bagade. Bagade was almost dispossessed there by Bergval, but Garcia nips in and collects the ball and drops it back to Martinez. Martinez just lifts the ball forward. It's kept in play there by Leon Bailey, but Spurs win the ball back with Matthias Tal. Tal holds the ball up. He's just trying to shield it. He's looking for some help. There's nobody there, but he does well to keep possession of the ball. Finally finds Jed Spence, and the ball is put out of play by Morgan Rogers, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Throw-in taken quickly into the Tottenham half of the field. Here is Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky played forward, looking for Porro. Kulishevsky picks up the loose ball again and gives it to Mikey Moore. That's another super ball in by Mikey Moore. And read really well by Emiliano Martinez, just coming out and getting there before Son Heung-min. And perhaps Spurs should bring Mikey Moore into the game a little bit more, because he seems to be having some joy down that right-hand side. Ball played forward there by Danso, but it's too far ahead of Matthias Tal, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And Emiliano Martinez will now be able to take his time with 5 minutes to go till half-time at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. It's a really good clearance there by Emiliano Martinez. He had to react quickly to that. Very smart goalkeeping. And here's Luca Dean. And back to Boubacar Kamara, who lifts the ball over to Garcia. Anders Garcia now plays the ball forward. And it's just won by Kevin Danso. Danso goes back to the goalkeeper. And Kinski releases it to Gray. Here's Jed Spence. Spence played forward. Oh, the ball is given away by Matthias Tal. And, well, it only just... Bentancur just manages to win it back ahead of Morgan Rogers. And here now is Bentancur. Bentancur played forward to Porro. Porro's ball is disappointing. It only finds Kamara across to Bagade. Bagade to Garcia. Garcia goes back to Bagade. He's probably going to go back to the goalkeeper here, to Martinez, who finds Kamara. Kamara to Luca Dean. Luca Dean tries to play the ball forward to Jacob Ramsey, but good challenge by Pedro Porro. Puts that ball out of play, and it's going to be a throw into Villa, almost level with their own penalty area. Luca Dean is going to take it. And he drops it back there to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans lifts the ball over the top there, looking for Garcia. He's got Jed Spence for company, and that was a sliding challenge by Jed Spence, but here's Leon Bailey, and Garcia's overlapping. He finds Garcia, and Garcia gets to the byline, but it's going to go out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick. It wasn't the best pass by Bailey. Really, Garcia had to stretch for that. And it's out of play anyway, and it's going to be a goal kick. And it's taken short by Gray. Gray releases it to Kinski. Kinski downfield. That header is won well by Luca Dean. Good header again by John McGinn. It's cleared away, but only as far as John McGinn again. McGinn plays the ball down the left-hand side. Here's Jacob Ramsey skipping in, trying to beat two Spurs players there. But they do win the ball back. And it's Kulishevsky, just drops it back to Porro, and back to Kulishevsky again, who's dispossessed. He goes down, Kulishevsky, nothing doing, says referee Anthony Taylor. Play goes on. Here's Donyell Mallon. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Mallon inside the penalty area now. Oh, he pulls the ball back, but Leon Bailey and and Jacob Ramsey have both gone in opposite directions, and it just misses everybody, and in the end, the referee has stopped play for some reason. And it may be for an offside, or it may be for the earlier challenge, because it's in that area. But he didn't call and give the free kick. He didn't blow very late. Anyway, it's going to be, the free kick is taken, and it's going to be with Archie Gray. Gray plays the ball forward to Jed Spence. Drops the ball back to Bentancur. And across to Kevin Danso. Danso now, Pedro Porro plays the ball forward. And that's an easy ball to pick up for Garcia, who just drops it back to Emiliano Martinez. And here's Bagadi. Bagadi plays the ball forward to the number 27, Morgan Rogers, who gives the ball back to Bagadi. And he goes back to Martinez. And it's across to Luca Dean now. We're approaching the 45th minute mark at the end of this first half. And the ball is played forward looking for Ramsey. Donyell Mallon trying to nip in and win the ball. Eventually it comes off Pedro Porro, and it's going to be a throw-in to Aston Villa at half-time. Russ will go through all the FA Cup scores of the weekend, and then we'll probably take a short break, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. Here's Bagadi inside the centre circle. Just holds the ball up, Bagadi. And here is, it's a good turn there by the number 7, John McGinn. And he lifts the ball forward, chested down well by Morgan Rogers inside the centre circle. And here is Luca Dean, Tielemans, McGinn, Kamara. Kamara, good ball to Dean. Dean lifts up the ball forward, looking for Jacob Ramsey, but it's over the goal scorer's head and goes straight through to Kinski. And we have a few minutes to go now. We've just waited to see how much stoppage time is going to be added on the end of this first half. There's been 1 or 2 stoppages. It is 2 minutes, in fact, shown by our 4th official, Simon Hooper. The ball's played forward now, looking for Donyell Mallon, and he strikes it into the side of the net. And it's going to be a goal kick, but again, Donyell Mallon finding himself in a position. It was a tight angle. I think this really was a giveaway by Archie Gray. Indeed it was. It was a really poor ball by Gray. And the ball was played through by Bailey and Donyell Mallon. It was going to be a tight angle. Very difficult to beat Kinski from that position. He puts it into the side netting. But Spurs, the architects of their own downfall at times, giving the ball away inside their own half. But Unai Emery has got to question the amount of chances that Villa have had in this game. And why the score is only 1-0. Here is Matthias Tal. Tal over the halfway line. He's got options left and right. Across to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky's got Mikey Moore there down the right-hand side. He's delivered some super balls into the box today. Oh, he's still got it, Mikey Moore. He cuts inside to the corner of the penalty area. It's now with Bergvall. Across to Jed Spence. Spence, he's going to have a shot there, but it's right down the throat of Emiliano Martinez. And a comfortable save for the World Cup Golden Glove winner. And just holding the ball up there is Martinez. He's just going to take all the time in the world now as the Villa goalkeeper. As we are seeing out the last few minutes of this game. Son wants to know why it's taking so long. Finally, it's released by Emiliano Martinez, but it goes out of play over level with the Spurs penalty area. On the left-hand side, it's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham. And that's it. That's half-time. The referee blows for half-time. A goal on the first minute by Jacob Ramsey is the difference, but my goodness me, it could have been so much more. Thomas Kinski at fault really for the goal, but bad defensive play by Spurs all the way through. They themselves had only one real clear-cut opportunity, with Son Heung-min forcing a good save out of Emiliano Martinez. But at half-time, this cup game is still in the balance. It's Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 0. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. And Aston Villa, as Paul said, will take a 1-goal lead into half-time. And this cup game is well and truly in the balance as well. Aston Villa leading by 1-0 against Tottenham. Could have had more goals. And you've not been for Kinski making some good saves and some poor decision making. Spurs could have gone on level terms had they not made mistakes in their end as well. We'll keep you bang up today with second half. Shortly when we bang back over to Paul James in plenty of time for the start of the second half. Well then, we're going to take a quick break in just a moment. Before we do, excuse me, let me bring you some other either half-time or full-time scores in some of the matches taking place up and down the country and around the world this evening. Starting off with a result in the Championship. We finished Bristol City 0, Swansea City 1. In the FA Cup so far today, Blackburn Rovers 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Do I just your sets right now? Plymouth Argyle 1, Liverpool 0 as a full-time score. I brought you that game. You can listen back to that one after you've listened to this game this afternoon. And half-time in this game is Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Brilliant commentary so far from Paul James. The Women's FA Cup results are in these matches. Rugby Borough 0, Liverpool 2. And this is in the Women's FA Cup, by the way, guys. That's why Liverpool win this time. Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle 0. Arsenal 2, London City Lionesses 0. Man City 3, Leicester 1. Portsmouth 0, Sunderland 2. Chelsea 4, Everton 1. In the French League 1, Lyon 4, Reims 0. Auxerre 2, Toulouse 2. Strasbourg 2, Montpellier 0. Angers against Marseille. Evening kick-off at 7:45. German Bundesliga, Ostel Kiel 2, Bochum 2, RB Leipzig 2, St. Pauli 0. In the Italian Serie A, Venezia 0, AS Roma 1, Cagliari 2, Parma 1, Lazio 5, Monza 1, Lecce against Bologna still goalless, 67 minutes played. Napoli take on Udinese later on this evening at 7:45 in this evening's kick-off. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Utrecht 0, Almere City 1, Fortuna Sittard 0, Ajax 2, RKC Valvik 5, NSC Breda 0, AZ Alkmaar 2, Pek Zwolle 0, Heerenveen 3, FC 23, not 23, FC 23. So 3-3 draw the last one there in the Dutch Eredivisie. Scottish Cup, Aberdeen 3, Dunfermline 0. And there's been a shock on in Scottish Cup. We have a shock in the English FA Cup. What about a shock in the Scottish FA Cup? Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1 at Ibrox this afternoon. In Spanish La Liga, Alaves 0, Getafe 1, Valencia 2, Leganés 0, and half-time Real Sociedad 1, Espanyol 0 is the half-time score there. So there's your scores up and down the country and around the world. We're going to take a quick break now. When we return, we'll be back in time for the start of the second half between Aston Villa and Tottenham. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to our FA Cup coverage, part 2 of our Super Sunday, as Aston Villa lead by a goal to nil against Tottenham Hotspur in our second offering of the day in the FA Cup. We're going to be bringing you the FA Cup draw tomorrow night. Nicholas Jones will have that one for you tomorrow. But before the second half gets underway, let's bring in the match commentator Paul James, who's been watching this game at Villa Park for us this afternoon. And Paul, very good afternoon to you once again. Just talk to us about that first half. What do you make to the overall performance from both teams heading into after that first half performance?
Well, I have to say it was a lot more one-sided than I thought it would be, Ross. I really thought both teams would be going out to win this game. It's from what I could see, Ross. There was only one team playing out there in that first half, and that was Aston Villa. They should have had more. Spurs are lucky not to be at least 3 down. To be honest with you, the general performance from Tottenham is like a side that doesn't need the FA Cup. The fact of the matter is they've been eliminated from the League Cup 4 days ago. They could go out to the FA Cup today. What do they think they're going to win? The general performance was was very poor in that first half. There was shining lights that you could see from Tottenham that show that they do have some very talented players. Mikey Moore on the right-hand side with his balls into the penalty area has shown that there's some very, very good outlet play. Son Heung-min forcing a good save from Emiliano Martinez. We all know what he's all about. Also, Kulishevsky as well. So they've got the players out there to do it. There just seems to be lacking the desire at the moment.
Yes, and I'm just wondering, Paul, as well, whether I know some people can throw this out there a number of times during the season or when the manager is under pressure. I just want to ask you, do you think the Spurs players out there are not playing for Ange Postecoglou?
That's a difficult call to make. It could be the fact that they played the game on Thursday. Okay, they've made a number of changes, but that's a very difficult call to make. I don't want to say that they're not, but at the same time, they are. At the same time, the system doesn't seem to be working for Ange at the moment.
Looking at the players that Spurs have got on the bench, Paul, they've got the likes of Bissouma, Sarr, Davis. Those are regular. Those are the only 3 senior players out of the outfield players that they've got on the bench. Those 4 players there, Davis, Reguilon, Bissouma and Sarr. The other 3, Arde, Casanova and Ajayi, are all youngsters. Whereas if you look at the Spurs, when you look at the Villa bench, they've got Maatsen, they've got Asensio, they've got Rashford. The only others are also the goalkeeper. Bergard's on now. Ziyech is a youngster as well. So Villa have got more Spurs have got more senior players on the bench. Well, Villa have got more quality and more depth with their subs that they can make from outfield players. Do you think that could play a part later in this game, Paul?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but I think before anything, Spurs have to play better in the second half. They have to stop giving the ball away in and around their own penalty area. They have to be more creative. Is Matthias Tell a number 9, or is he playing out on the left-hand side? And Son Heung-min playing. I don't think that the two seem to know where they're supposed to be. It just seems to me that there's a lot of issues going on there right now, and I think Spurs, if they come out playing like they did in the first half, they're not getting anything from this game, and they're going out of 2 cup competitions in 4 days.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Teams are heading their way back out onto the field ahead of the second half, and to me, Paul, I don't know what you think. Just briefly before we hang back on to the second half, I think some of these Spurs players. And the Spurs are not playing as a team, they're playing as individuals. And I think, in my opinion, they've been like that for a number of weeks now.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. It definitely could be a possibility that they're doing that. I don't know, but there is obviously a lot of in-depth problems at Tottenham Hotspur right now. And it's not just the money. It's no good saying Ange out, Ange out, Ange out. You look. You've got to look at Daniel Levy. You've got to look at what Spurs are doing to try to make themselves an elite side. Right now, they're a team near the bottom of the league. You're talking about what was once a massive team, and now they're at the bottom of the league.
Yes, and the second half's about to get underway, so without further ado, let me hand you back over to the match commentator with the news of a change for Spurs, Paul James.
Thank you so much. Yes, Spurs, I've just made a quick change. Bissouma has come on for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm just trying to see the guy that has just been taken off. But yes, Bissouma is on right now for Tottenham Hotspur. We'll just get you that change in a moment. It's Mikey Moore that has come off. Now, this I am surprised at, because he has been one of Tottenham's best players in that first half. I'm thinking he might have picked up a knock. That's the only reason I can think that they would have made that change. Here is Daniel Mallon. Daniel Mallon is dispossessed, and now it's picked up here by Jed Spence. He plays the ball, chasing down his Kulishevsky. It goes out of play, and it's going to be a Villa throw-in. So Mikey Moore goes off, and coming on is Yves Bissouma. I'm just trying to see if we can maybe find out what might have been the reason for Mikey Moore's exit, whether it was tactical or whether it was that the young man had just picked up a knock. But that is really, really bizarre substitution if it's tactical. But anyway, we press on, and I'll run through the lineups for you in just a moment here. Well, Leon Bailey is now, he's back on his feet, but he's just trying to run this off right now. I'll just run through the lineups for you very quickly. For Aston Villa, Martinez in goal, Luca Dean, Lamare Bagade for the substitute, Boubacar Kamare, Andres Garcia, Yuri Tielemans, John McGinn, Jacob Ramsey, Morgan Rogers, Leon Bailey, and Daniel Mallon. Spurs are now Antonin Kinski, Jed Spence, Archie Gray, Kevin Danso, Pedro Porro, Rodrigo Bentancur, Lucas Bergval, Son Heung-min, Dejan Kulishevsky, Yves Bissouma, and Mateus Tal. As Villa have a free kick on the edge of their own penalty area in this one, as the referee is just having a word now with Morgan Rogers over something. And Morgan Rogers just been spoken to by Anthony Taylor, and it's going to be a free kick to Villa now. And drop back to the goalkeeper Martinez. He releases it to Kamara. Kamara forward to Ramsey, the goal scorer. Just breaking forward now is Luca Dean, keeping possession well. Oh, that's good play by Dejan Kulishevsky. Wins the ball off Luca Dean. Luca Dean still fighting with it. Here's Kulishevsky, drops the ball to Porro. Across there to Bentancur, who drops it back to Porro. Drop back into his own half of the field to Gray. Here's Danso. Danso across to Bissouma. Here's Bissouma again. Good ball there to Kulishevsky. So it looks like Ange Postecoglou might have changed to more of a 4-3-3 possibly in this second half, as he tries to push Spurs onwards and forwards to try to get a goal to get them back into this game. Kinski releases the ball to Bissouma. Here's Lucas Bergval. Bergval back to Bissouma. Bissouma, good ball there to Bentancur, and it's now back to Bissouma. Bissouma holds the ball up and back to Bentancur. Bissouma. Oh, good ball across there to Danso. Spurs just being held back inside their own half at the moment. Here's Bergval. And that's a good ball by Bergvall across to Matthias Tal, still on that left-hand side. Matthias Tal drops the ball forward to Jed Spence. Leon Bailey still moving gingerly there. Here's Lucas Bergvall. And here's Rodrigo Bentancur. Oh, that's a good pass to Danso, and it's flicked on by Kulishevsky, looking for Son. Son is in here, real chance. Oh, superb tackle. Oh, what a challenge by Bagade, just getting across as Son had just made the turn. And Bagade doing so well, getting his foot in there and making the challenge. Of course, one wrong move in that area could have resulted in a penalty kick. It's a corner now for Spurs. Dejan Kulishevsky, welcome Kevin Benson. We'll get to your comment in a moment. The corner comes in. It's headed out there by John McGinn. Only as far as Jed Spence. Across to Tal. Tal swings the ball in. Oh, there's a couple of people in there, but it's headed behind by Luca Dean. Bergvall and a lot of space in the penalty area. It's a corner to Aston Villa. Kevin Benson says, Burnley done good. I still hate Millwall. All right. I don't know anybody that likes Millwall apart from Millwall. That's the only reason. Okay. Corner coming in, and it's headed out. Oh, Donyell Mallon, the ball breaks loose to him, and he is dispossessed that time by Porro. There's a player down with a head injury. Anthony Taylor hasn't stopped play. Emiliano Martinez grabs the ball out of the air, and finally Anthony Taylor starts playing and is trying to get the physio on quickly because the player down looks like he's out cold. He's moving a little bit now. It's I think it's Luca Dean that's down there. He got the ball in the head. A lot of players concerned for the Frenchman. He got the ball square in the face. And Unai Emery just looking on. So Luca Dean down there at the moment, receiving treatment. Hope he's okay. We'll just keep an eye on that situation because immediately there was concern from both sides of the field. In the Championship today, Bristol City 0, Swansea City 1 at Ashton Gate. As just still down there right now is Luca Dean. He's moving, but I guess he's being told to stay where he is for the time being. Just precautions, I hope, and not anything seriously. But you can see here the Villa fans just looking on with concern, and well they might. Luca Dean is a huge part of their squad. He's on his feet now, is the Frenchman. He looks okay. They'll probably just take him off for a little while do additional checks on him. Just take a look. Oh yes, it was square in the face. That would not have felt good, but it looks like he's on his feet. He's just grabbing a drink and he's giving the thumbs up. So he looks okay. That's good news. The ball is going to be handed back to Emiliano Martinez. He's just going to pick the ball up and kick it downfield. As Luca Dean now just shaking off the cobwebs, so to speak. And it's going to be cleared right-footed downfield by Martinez. Ball is up in the air there, won by Kevin Danso, headed on. Bailey just drops the ball down. Seems to have shaken off that earlier injury by the looks of it. Kamara plays the ball forward looking for Jacob Ramsey, but that was a touch by Kulishevsky that knocked the ball back. And here's Lucas Bergvall. Bergvall picked up by Basuma, and Bentancur just turns away there from Ramsey again. He finds Porro. Here's Basuma midway inside the Villa half of the field. Good ball there to Porro. Porro making it to the byline. Can he get the cross in, Porro? It's right across the 18-yard box. Oh, and it comes back to Basuma, and it's blocked by Kamara and goes behind for another corner. And this is better from Spurs in the second half. And well, you see here the shot was struck. Let's take a look at this. It was pulled back. It was thinking of striking it there was Son Heung-min, but he plays it for Basuma, and Kamara gets the block in. Good work by the Villa defender, and Porro is going to take this corner now. It's a fourth corner for Tottenham Hotspur. It's going to outswing this one. Bergvall just having words with Leon Bailey. And Porro swings it in, goes all the way across the 18-yard box. Finally bounces to Bergvall. Bergvall plays the ball across. Oh, it's inside the 6-yard box and cleared away by Kamara, as Spurs now knocking on the door, trying to get back into this game. Well, I can tell you that was very close indeed. It was finally hacked away by the Villa defender, and Bentancur has it. He plays the ball to Porro. Porro lifts the ball forward, chested down, and he just loses possession there, does Basuma. And now Villa are on the break, and it's Bailey. Oh, that's a superb challenge by Jed Spence. And now Spurs coming up the other side. Tottenham Hotspur with Jed Spence played forward. He tried to play the ball forward. He goes down under the challenge. Looks like the challenge there was from John McGinn. Anthony Taylor says no foul, so we play on. And here is Jacob Ramsey. And Ramsey plays the ball across there to Bailey. Bailey out wide there now to Garcia. Garcia gets a cross in. Oh, and it's just trying to nip in ahead there. But the ball was won by Lucas Bergvall, and I think it was Morgan Rogers trying to get in there now, but the ball's coming the other way with ease. Basuma out wide now to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky cuts inside with a shot, and it's a comfortable save by Emiliano Martinez. But my goodness me, this game has picked up in the second half with both sides with attacking intent. We've had 11 minutes gone in the start of the second half. It is still Aston Villa 0, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And Spurs are looking a better side in the second half. The ball is at a foul on. It is. It's a foul on Jacob Ramsey. Anthony Taylor has kept his cards in his pocket in this game, or at least tried to. Certainly one or two borderline challenges in that first half. I think particularly Archie Grays would have warranted a yellow card, but aside from that, I think Anthony Taylor has done a decent job today. And it's back with Emiliano Martinez. And across to Bagade. The ball has been given away by Garcia, but it's won back by Morgan Rogers. And Villa that was a terrible ball. He tried to lift it up ahead of Kulishevsky, and he was lucky that Kulishevsky did not control that very well, and it was finally cleared away by Kamara. But you really can't play games like that with players like Kulishevsky in and around your own penalty area. That was not a smart move. Here's Bergvall. Bergvall drops the ball to Danso. Oh, that's a good ball by Gray. And it's picked up by Tal. Tal is dispossessed comfortably by Leon Bailey. And here's John McGinn. Oh, great play by John McGinn. Turns away from Mateus Tal. And Villa are moving forward in numbers. Oh, that's a super ball through to Jacob Ramsey. Good save by Kinski. Oh, that was a sensational stop one-on-one with Jacob Ramsey, who could have had 4 goals today. But that really was a superb save by the Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper. And he's really showing up after that mistake in the first half that led to the first goal. A super save that time, as Jacob Ramsey was looking to make that 2, and that was a one-on-one chance. But Villa still with a slender 1-goal lead. And, well, Thomas Kinski's been forced into making a number of decent saves in this game. 71% Tottenham in possession in the first 10 minutes of this second half. That tells you the tale that they've come out looking a lot better in this second half. Here's Bergvall. Bergvall across to Danso. Porro launches the ball forward, and Boubacar Kamara just cuts across. But holding up the ball well is Son. And the ball goes out of play off Kamara. It's going to be a throw-in for Spurs down that right-hand side. And it's level with the Villa penalty area. And Son takes it short. Gives it to Bentancur. Bentancur just pulls the ball into the middle. And it's Basuma there. Danso to Porro. Porro lifts the ball to Son. Son just gives up the ball there to Tielemans. And there's McGinn, gives the ball to Morgan Rogers as Villa now trying to break out in numbers. Well, surely he's being held there. That is a yellow card. Rodrigo Bentancur being shown the yellow card there, and rightly so. He just made no attempt to win the ball there. That was a blatant yellow card. And you can see it here. It looks... he's just holding on to his arm and his shoulder. Like, there's no attempt to win the ball there. So definitely the first yellow card of the day. Correct decision by Mr. Anthony Taylor that time. Emiliano Martinez releases the ball to Luca Dean, and the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. Well, the second half has started like a house on fire. It's just slowed down a little bit as we've hit the hour mark. As Luca Dean is going to take this throw-in. Game still very much in the balance. With all the missed chances that Villa had, and the goalkeeping by Kinski really has been excellent. And here is Bogarde. Bogarde plays the ball across there to Garcia. Back to Bogarde. And back to Martinez. Martinez launches the ball long downfield and out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be taken by Jed Spence down that left-hand side for Tottenham Hotspur. Jed Spence throws the ball back there to Archie Gray. Gray plays the ball across there to Kevin Danso. Danso lifts the ball forward, looking for Mateus Tal, but that's a good interception by Bailey. And Tal is in an offside position. It certainly hasn't been his day today, the Dutch striker. He has not been at his best today. And here is Jacob Ramsey coming forward now for Villa. Right through the middle, Jacob Ramsey. He's just tearing the heart out of that midfield. And Lucas Bergvall is going into the referee's notebook for that challenge on Ramsey. The latest player to go into the referee's notebook. Correct decision probably. There's no real attempt to win the ball from Lucas Bergvall, and that really goes down as professional foul, tactical foul, whatever you want to call it. It's a free kick midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. It's central. Bailey and Yuri Tielemans are standing away. Morgan Rogers has moved away, and so has John McGinn. Looks like it's going to be Yuri Tielemans at this point. He's not gonna shoot from here, surely. He's taking a long run up, so I don't know if he's thinking of having a shot from here. He may just decide to lift it. Indeed, he plays it short there to Bailey. Bailey swings the ball towards the back post. Kinski plucks that out of the air. Good, confident goalkeeping by the young Czech. And here is the... Oh, that was a good ball there. It was a good throw out, really, to Kulusevski. But Kulusevski just had Tielemans closing in on him. Tielemans puts the ball out of play. Going to be a throw into Tottenham. And it's going to be taken by Pedro Porro down this right-hand side for Spurs. Midway inside their own half of the field as Marcus Rashford is preparing himself. And I'm just trying to see who the other one is. It looks like it might be Asensio as well, but Rashford's certainly preparing himself. Yes, it is Asensio. Both of them preparing themselves now to come on. Marcus Asensio and Marco Asensio and Marcus Rashford, both of them new signings by Villa in the window. So they look like they are both coming on very, very shortly. We'll try to see just who is the replacement in a moment for you, but they are both standing on the touchline looking like they are ready to come on. Here comes Morgan Rogers now. Morgan Rogers, oh, he finds Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey cuts inside, and he plays it to Rogers. Rogers across the face of goal. It's hooked out, it's in! And Villa are 2-0 up! And the goal is scored again by, I'm just trying to see who it was, it's Morgan Rogers this time. And Morgan Rogers gives Villa the 2-goal lead. And well, that may be enough to break Tottenham Hotspur hearts. And whether or not Asensio and Rashford will be needed now is another question. But the ball was just played across the 6-yard box, and Villa, Kinski looks furious. Well, he might. He has reason to be fair. I mean, this ball across, again, Spurs defending is just abysmal here. First of all, the ball is won in the middle of the park. It's fed to Morgan Rogers. There's 3 players around Morgan Rogers. Nobody challenging him. Leon Bailey's got all the time in the world, and he just pulls the ball across the 6-yard. He pulls the ball across the 6-yard box, and it's Donyell Mallon, I think, that just gets that ball across the 6-yard box. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's Donyell Mallon gets the ball across the 6-yard box. The clearance is poor from Porro, and it just falls at the feet of Morgan Rogers, and it's 2-0. And I have to be honest, the defending is, I don't know what to describe it as. I'll be honest. I when I see defending like this from a Premier League team, it just makes me cringe. That assist by Donyell Mallon is the last bit of play for him, as Rashford is on. And well, I don't know what to make of that. The defending, they just fell apart. They just absolutely fell apart all the way through. Leon Bailey is the other one that has gone off. So I'll just run through the substitutions for you in just a moment. It's Morgan Rogers and Leon Bailey that have gone off. And it's Rashford and Marco Asensio that are on. But yeah, really poor play from Tottenham in that lead up to that goal. Media radio jingles in game. It says fantastic goal, but poor defending from Tottenham. Maybe that's why they've been suffering with defeats. Well, the interesting thing is Villa have a negative goal difference going into this game in the league, whereas Tottenham do not. But the defending is just abysmal. The defending was shambolic for that goal. Well, Kevin Danso is down right now, and he's got a head injury, and it looks like there's quite a bit of blood there. So Kevin Danso is just clutching his head. I hope he's okay. Ange Postecoglou turning around and looking at his bench. I don't think he's must be wondering what's going on now, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen with him out of both cups in 4 days. Yes, it is Mallon and Bailey. Thanks, Russ. I know that. I don't know why I said Rogers. I said Mallon initially. Anyway, the player Kevin Danso is down right now, and Ange Postecoglou just looking on. Well, he's got 23 minutes to save himself. Really, I mean, I think being exited from both cups in the space of 4 days in the way that they have really leaves much to be desired. It's Rashford's elbow that catches him. Now, I'm just looking at that, and now if there was VAR, I do wonder whether they would look at that as a potential red card, because the elbow from Rashford catches him square in the head. They're just looking over it now. He's going to need stitches. And of course, if he's gotten any blood on that shirt, they'll need to replace the shirt too. I remember the days when you used to see the likes of Terry Butcher with blood all over his shirt, blood all over his face. Those days are gone now. But Danso is going off temporarily, so it leaves Spurs with a man short at least for the time being. Kamara now has the ball as we get this game back underway. Kamara just lifts the ball over to Luca Dean. As for Villa right now, they are 2 goals to the good. It was that second goal was always going to come eventually with the defending that Tottenham has put out here. And the ball crossed to the right-hand side. And now it's picked up by Garcia. Garcia checks back. And the ball is played forward there, laid off there by Daniel Mallon to the edge of the area to Tielemans. Tielemans with a shot, it's blocked. And it goes behind for a corner. So Yuri Tielemans. So just so you know, Rashford wearing his familiar number 9 jersey, Asensio wearing 11 for Villa. As here is Luca Dean. And into the penalty area there is Luca Dean, plays the ball across, and another fine interception there. This time by Kevin, I think Kevin Danso is back on, that was him. That was a really good piece of defending. It's going to be a corner to Aston Villa. And, well, let's see who's going to take it. It's number 9, Marcus Rashford, standing over this one. That's going to take this corner. And it's Luca Dean across there to McGinn. McGinn back to Rashford. Rashford, oh, he holds the ball up well, does Rashford. Now he's getting into the penalty area. Marcus Rashford tries to get the cross away, but it's blocked. And it's one back, and Dean gets the cross in. Oh, the attempt by Tielemans was completely miscued. And here's Mateus Tal now for Tottenham. And the ball is dropped back to Archie Gray and across to Kevin Danso. And the ball is played forward there, and it's nipped in and won back by John McGinn. And here is Rashford again. He's got Jacob Ramsey alongside him, gives the ball to Ramsey. Across now to McGinn. And there's Boubacar Kamara. Tielemans just drops it back to Kamara again. Well, I got to say, at the moment now, Villa look very much in control of this game with 19 minutes to go. You got to wonder what Ange Postecoglou's options are. And the ball is played forward there by the substitute there for Villa, Bagade. And here is Asensio now with a chance. Asensio! Oh, just over the crossbar. And, well, chance number... I've lost count of the chances that Villa have had. But that ball cleared the crossbar. And looking at this again, that's a beautiful back heel. That time, pulled the ball across. And Rodgers just, actually it was Rodgers who was getting his foot under that. Puts it behind. And Russ says Villa have been in control the whole game. I mostly agree with that, but I think there was a sort of 15 minutes of the second half where Spurs were actually looking like they might do something. But it's just not been there. And the second goal, I think, has killed this tie off. That's a good ball across there by Rodgers to Asensio. Back to Rodgers. Here's Garcia, in fact. Garcia inside the penalty area. And it's to Tielemans. Tielemans across to Luca Dean. Luca Dean gets the ball off Ramsey to Tielemans. Quick one-touch passing by Villa. Spurs having no answer for this. And here is the number 21, Asensio. It's now with Boubacar Kamara. And drops it back there to Bagade too. And Spurs have just made a substitution on the sneak there. Pape Sarr has come on for Rodrigo Bentancur, so I'll just update that information in a moment. Here's Rashford. Rashford goes down in the area. Anthony Taylor says no. Play will continue, but it did hit the referee on the clearance. And, well, Bentancur is now off. Pape Sarr is on. Substitution was made very slyly there, off camera. Well, Rodrigo Bentancur in the second half, he's had his moments, but not really a lot to write home about for him either, really. Pape Sarr is now on for Villa and for Spurs, and we have 16 minutes to go. And if Spurs can get one back, that might bring them back into the game a little bit. And it's a free kick for Spurs now, right on the halfway line, about 6 yards in from the touchline on the right-hand side. Porro takes it quickly. And it's across there to Archie Gray. And here is Kevin Danso now. Time ticking down for Tottenham, running out. They need to try to get a goal back here. So far, they are 2 goals down to Villa, who have been the better side in this one for sure. John McGinn just nips in and wins the ball back. Here's Morgan Rogers. Oh, it's dispossessed there from the pass, looking for Garcia. Garcia had to do well to win that. Gives it back to McGinn. McGinn under pressure there from Son. He plays the ball across to Tielemans, who goes back to the goalkeeper, Martinez. Here's Kamara, back to Tielemans, under pressure there. He plays the ball forward, Tielemans. It's flicked on, and there's John McGinn, and he's through now, Jacob Ramsey. He can seal it here, can Ramsey? Oh, another super save by Kinski. Another super save. Oh, my goodness, it could have been 6. And Kinski makes another superb save. And, well, you know, Jacob Ramsey, he could have had 6 goals on his own today, but he's been denied mostly by the goalkeeper. Apart from that one error today, Kinski really has played absolutely fantastically, as I will have to consider my player of the match. And there's 1 or 2 I can name, actually. Jacob Ramsey as well. Of course, he's been an absolute threat down that right-hand side as well. But hasn't taken the majority of the chances that he's had. So here's number 23, Pedro Porro. Porro drops the ball back to the number 4, Danso. Danso across to Pedro Porro. Porro plays the ball forward, chasing this one. Over on this side is Basuma. That's a good ball back to Kulishevsky. Can he get the cross in, Kulishevsky? Oh, good block by Luca Dean. Great defending. And Villa holding tight here against Spurs. And the corner is going to be taken by Pedro Porro. Spurs in a hurry to get back into this game. 1 goal might be enough to help them get back into this. As the corner is swung in by Porro. It's cleared away to the edge of the box, but only as far as Basuma. Here's Mateus Tal. Back to Basuma. Basuma tries to have the shot, but it's blocked. Oh, and it's picked up by Porro. Porro swings the ball across the 18-yard box. Oh, what a chance for Mateus Tal! Or is that Kevin Danso? It's actually Kevin Danso on the back post. Oh, what a chance. That should have been 2-1. What an opportunity. We'll look at this again. It starts with a deflected shot from Basuma that lands very kindly for Porro. Porro whips it across the 18-yard box. Oh, the entire goal at his mercy is Danso, and he pulls it wide and drops to his knees. But that is the best chance for Spurs in these 78 minutes so far. Oh, my goodness me. And Spurs fans, well, oh, they can only hold their heads, some of them turning away. There's going to be some comments on YouTube later. Well, that's where I'm going to get my entertainment from this evening. The angry Tottenham fans on YouTube. Keep me nice and cheerful tonight. And here is, picking up this ball here, I think there's Garcia, yes. And across there to Boubacar Kamara. And what a chance that was for Spurs. And that just sums up their performance today, which on the whole has been very, very poor. I'm giving them credit for the first 15 minutes of the second half where I felt that they might create something. But on the whole, it's been a dreadful performance really by Spurs. The ball is played forward. and it goes straight through to Kinski. And Lucas Bergvall releases the ball to Jed Spence. And back to Bergvall, across now to Kevin Danso. Well, I guess that's why he's a defender and not a forward, but what a chance that was. And here's Jed Spence. We've got 10 minutes to go at Villa Park. It's 2-0 to Aston Villa, and you get the feeling that Spurs may have just missed their chance. The ball forward by Danso is a poor one. It's intercepted by Jacob Ramsey, and now Villa coming forward with Luca Dean across to Ramsey. Ramsey holds the ball up, good. Oh, he goes down under the challenge there of Pedro Porro, and Porro has the yellow card flashed at him. Another yellow card for Spurs. Third of the game for Tottenham. That was a late challenge. It is worthy of a yellow card. That was reckless, in my opinion, and worthy of yellow. And it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa, but Luca Dean is just making his way off the field now, as there is a substitute, and coming on is Ian Matson for Aston Villa on 81 minutes. So Luca Dean off, Ian Matson on is the fourth substitution for the Villains. Ian Matson, former Burnley loanee. It's going to be swung in here by Asensio. Swing this cross in. And the heads go up, but it's a good interception that time by Porro. Good play by him, denying Spurs, denying Villa that ball really into the penalty area. And here's Bergvall. Bergvall, oh, he was almost dispossessed. Good work by Kevin Danso. Just getting in there to make sure that Villa don't nip in and get anything out of that. But Villa have the ball back. It's swung back in again, but it's blocked well, this time by Archie Gray. And, well, Villa give the ball away this time, and now here's Jed Spence moving forward for Tottenham. He drops the ball back, and it's back with Yves Bissouma. And Spurs coming forward now, looking to grab something out of this game. As the ball is played forward, it finds Mateus Tal. Tal just taking his back to the touchline, and it goes out of play for a throw-in to Aston Villa. Time ticking down here. In a moment, I'm going to give my player of the match to Russ, my producer, very shortly now. It's been a really good performance by so many of those Villa players. Now I'm just going to, made up my mind, I'm going to hand it to Russ now, my man of the match choice. There we go. So Russ can get that in nice and early. The ball is with Archie Gray. He gives the ball to Bissouma. Bissouma plays the ball long. Chasing this one is Son Heung-min, but Garcia cutting across and making the challenge. And plays the ball forward. Spurs, Ange Postecoglou not really made any changes since the second goal went in, which is something I'm really surprised at. Anyway, it is a free kick now to Aston Villa as John McGinn goes down under the challenge of Yves Bissouma. We have 7 minutes left in this game, in this FA Cup fourth round tie between Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest at Villa Park, and it looks like Villa are going to have their name in the hat for Monday's draw, fifth round draw. The fifth round draw you'll be able to hear on the commentary hub. Not quite sure who's bringing it to you, but you'll be able to hear it here on the commentary hub. Here is Asensio storming over the halfway line for Villa. Villa now just plays the ball out wide here. The cross coming in by Rodgers all the way to the back post, goes over everybody's head and out of play for a throw-in. Nicholas Jones is apparently bringing the draw to you tomorrow. And so you'll be able to listen in on the commentary hub to the FA Cup 5th round draw. And some a big name already missing, 2 big names missing. Brighton beating Chelsea yesterday, Plymouth beating Liverpool today. So 2 big names out of it there. Manchester City still in it. They scraped through against Leyton Orient. So here's Son Heung-min now for Spurs, just inside his own half of the field. He goes over the halfway line, and the ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And Tottenham, 5 minutes to go in this one. We will bring you the player of the match in about 3 minutes' time. Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Time running out for any chance for Spurs to get back into the game as Garcia takes a throw in for Villa. And here's Jacob Ramsey. Oh, he's dispossessed well. That time by Porro. Porro releases the ball out to Matthias Tal. Tal trying to get past. He was trying to get past. Oh, it's a yellow card, I think. He was trying to get past Bagade there, but Tal goes down under pressure. Just looking at this, Tal goes down very easily there as well. To be honest, there didn't appear to be a lot in that. Oh, he goes down. He's hardly being touched. I mean, that's a poor decision by Anthony Taylor. And look at him pretending like he's limping. Free kick now for Tottenham Hotspur, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Left-hand side, rather. It's Son Heung-min that's going to swing this one in. Son Heung-min, see if he can create something. There'll be some controversy if this one is given. If this goes in, Son Heung-min, he may decide to have a shot. From that distance, he's certainly capable. Here's Son Heung-min. No, he plays it short to Kulishevsky. Breaks loose, and a shot there from the edge of the box from Porro. And a super save by Emiliano Martinez. Gets across and makes the save. Keeps a hold of the ball as well. The ball was played a square ball across. Porro and Kulishevsky got in each other's way, but it was the outside of the boot strike by Porro, and it was a good save by Emiliano Martinez. And it's a throw into Aston Villa as the ball is out on the far side, midway inside the Villa half of the field. And here is Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey storming over the halfway line. Oh, he's dispossessed. And he's Bissouma going in with a challenge to try to win the ball. He holds the ball up well, releases it to Kulishevsky. Spurs now trying to come forward, trying to grab something that might make the last few minutes interesting. Crosses the ball into Bergvall. Oh, Bergvall spent too long on the ball, and Kamara wins it back. And now Villa can break out as well. Here's Morgan Rogers. Oh, he tried to find Marcus Rashford, but that was well read by Archie Gray. Ball played down the right-hand side now to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky over by the corner flag. Is he going to try to get the cross in? No, he cuts the ball back to as far as Porro. Porro to Bissouma. Back to Porro. Oh, that's a poor ball by Bissouma. And it goes behind for a goal kick. That's actually Pape Sarr. And it goes behind for a goal kick, and that is poor. And as the ball's out of play, I might as well name my man of the match today. I really wanted to give it to Thomas Kinski, to be honest, because some of the saves he's made in the game have been spectacular. I mean, it really could have been 5 or 6 if it wasn't for him. I couldn't give it to him really because of the early mistake. So I've decided to give the man of the match to Aston Villa's number 27, Morgan Rogers. He's managed to get a goal today, and he's just dominated that midfield. Tore a hole through the heart of that midfield of Tottenham Hotspur. So today's man of the match goes to Aston Villa's number 27, Morgan Rogers. Cleared downfield. We're inside the last 2 minutes and hacked away. Man of the match, of course, is sponsored by Commentary Services, the brilliant Commentary Services. And here is Gray. Son cuts inside, gets a shot away. It's blocked. Headed away there by Tielemans. Only as far as Danso. Oh, that's just a poor ball by Danso. And now Rogers releases the ball. And over on the far side now is, I think that's Marcus Rashford. He's inside the penalty area. Rashford tries to get the shot away. Oh, it's blocked, and it's a free kick, actually. And Archie Gray is down, clutching his leg, has clashed with Rashford. You can see it here. Gets a shot away. Oh, that looked like that hurt. Rashford got tried to get the shot away on Gray, but it was just as he did, Gray got a touch on the ball, which was a fine challenge. And Rashford then caught Archie Gray, and that looked pretty painful. But it's a free kick anyway, and Archie Gray takes it quickly. As we've got another comment in the comment section. Morgan Rogers has played well today. Good decision, Paul. He's also getting the TV pick for man of the match as well. Oh, okay, there you go. Shows I do know what I'm talking about a little bit. And it's a throw in here. As we look at the Villa fans, they're content with their afternoon's work. As Kamara just allows the ball to roll there. And, well, it's Ian Matson just letting the ball go loose as he returns it to the goalkeeper, Martinez. And Martinez's clearance isn't the best. It's picked up by Bergvall. Here's Porro now. Porro across to Archie Gray. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. That's all that's left in this FA Cup fourth round tie, and all that's left for Tottenham Hotspur to try to get something and get back in this game, or they are going out of 2 cups in 4 days. And here's Danso. Danso, that's a good ball. And it's picked up by Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky lifts the ball into the penalty area. A chance and a goal! And it's knocked in by Matthias Tal. And now the next 4 minutes are going to be really interesting. As Matthias Tal gets the goal on 90 plus 1 minute. Oh, and Tottenham Hotspur are back in this game, and this is going to be a really interesting last few minutes. But look at this cross in. It's a good ball in from Kulishevsky. Tal gets a touch. He's not been fantastic today, but he gets the touch here, and it's enough to divert it past the goalkeeper. Yes. It's just touched in, and Spurs have a goal back, so we'll see in the remainder of injury time just how interesting the last few minutes might be. Ian Matson puts it out of play, throwing for Spurs as they fight back to get back in this game. Gray. Danso. Across to Gray. Got 3 minutes left of this double header, this Super Sunday that we've brought you today. Spurs coming forward now. And here's Son Heung-min tries to play the ball forward. It's blocked, but breaks loose for Basuma. He loses the ball, and Tielemans gives it back to Bagado. Bagadi clears the ball away, and it's just out to the edge of the penalty area here as Tottenham with Lucas Bergvall just releases the ball to Porro. And it's crossed in there by Kulishevsky, but plucked out of the air by Emiliano Martinez. And Nicholas Jones says, as if they left it too late. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, well, we'll have to wait and see about that. There is still 2.5 minutes at least for Spurs to grab an equaliser, what will be a dramatic equaliser considering how badly they've played today. It's cleared downfield by Martinez. Gray plays the ball forward for Jed Spence. Spence now has got Morgan Rogers alongside him. He goes down under the challenge, does Jed Spence from Morgan Rogers. It's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. Morgan Rogers can't believe it. Oh, this is going to be interesting here. Well, he did clip him, did Morgan Rogers. It's definitely a foul. It's right over on the touchline on the left-hand side, almost level with the Villa penalty area. It's going to be swung in, Yorkshire Spurs. A fan has it's swung in and plucked out of the air by Emiliano Martinez. Well, Yorkshire Spurs, hey? Well, there's not many other teams to support in Yorkshire, is there, so I suppose? Just kidding. And I knew Russ would react to that. Cleared away downfield by Emiliano Martinez there. Up in the air is Danso winning that one. Headed on by Kamara. Bissouma just trying to win it. It's headed on there to Jacob Ramsey from Tielemans. Ramsey cuts back to Tielemans. He drops it to Maatsen. And Maatsen, is he fouled there by Pape Sarr? I think the referee has said yes. And it's going to be a free kick for Tottenham, for Aston Villa now. And that's about 10 yards in from the touchline on the left-hand side. It's a pretty dangerous position. A third goal now would, of course, absolutely end things, but we'll see. It's Marco Asensio, the substitute, standing over this one. Time ticking down for Tottenham now. 30 seconds left of the minimum of 5. Of course, I'm sure there'll be more on top of that. Maatsen takes it short. Back to Maatsen again. And it's going to go back to Kamara. Good work by Kamara, just turning away from Tal, the goal scorer for Tottenham. Played forward by Maatsen to Jacob Ramsey. Oh, that's a really good ball to Asensio. Is Asensio going to take it in the corner, or is he going to try and get across? He plays it in short there to Rashford. Back to Asensio. Ball is played across. And here's Tielemans now. Picked up. And he's looking for Rashford. That's a good interception by Lucas Bergvall. But is it game up for Tottenham Hotspur? It is. And Aston Villa will go through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Mateus' goal is too little too late. Tottenham go out of their second trophy in 4 days. And, well, the pressure and the eyes turn on Ange Postecoglou. And it's full time here at Villa Park. Second half goals from Morgan Rogers. Mateus Tal getting a goal in stoppage time for Spurs. But it's not enough. It's full time here at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa 2. Tottenham Hotspur 1. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. An excellent commentary, as always, my good friend. But for that comment about Yorkshire, I could always sack you, but I don't think I will.
Oh, well.
Anyway, let's move on and let's bring you the scores from the other matches taking place today before we wrap up our coverage this evening. So let's bring you the scores from the matches taking place today, shall we? Starting off in the FA Cup, where we've seen a shock this afternoon. Blackburn Rovers 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Plymouth Argyle 1, Liverpool 0 is the shock that we've seen this afternoon. Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. In the Women's FA Cup, 5th round there, the women's teams are one step ahead of the men's. This was the 4th round tie in the men's, the 5th round tie in the women's. So Rugby Borough 0, Liverpool 2, Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle 0, Arsenal 2, London City Lionesses 0, and City 3, Leicester City 1, Portsmouth 0, Sunderland 2, and Chelsea 4, Everton 1. In the Skybet Championship this afternoon, finished Bristol City 0, Swansea City 1. In the Scottish Cup 5th round, Aberdeen 3, Dunfermline 0, Rangers 0, Queen's Park 1. In the Spanish La Liga, Alaves 0, Getafe 1, Valencia 2, Leganés 0, Real Sociedad 2, Espanyol 1. Evening kickoff is Sevilla against Barcelona. In the German Bundesliga, Holstein Kiel 2, Bochum 2, RB Leipzig 2, St. Pauli 0. Italian Serie A, Venezia 0, Roma 1, Cagliari 2, Parma 1, Lazio 5, Monza 1, Lecce and Bologna ended goalless. So there is the other scores there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Utrecht 0, Almere 1, Fortuna Sittard 0, Ajax 2, KRC Valvik 5, NSC Brada 0, AZ Alkmaar 2, Pek Zwolle 0, MMV 3, FC 23. So 3-3 draw in the last game there. French League off. Lyon 4, Reims 0, Auxerre 2, Toulouse 2, Strasbourg 2, Montpellier 0, Angers against Marseille is a 4-8 kickoff here in the UK. Also, just to tell you, in the Belgian Jupiler Pro League, Anderlecht 2, Antwerp 0, Kortrijk 1, RS Union Saint-Gallen 2, Wetzlar 4, Standard Liège 2, Bayshore 1, Cholet 0. Latest score 61 minutes gone there. In the Greek Super League, Olympiacos 1, Israelis 1, Aris 2, Panathinaikos 0, AEK Athens 2, Pazurikos 0 was a half-time scoreline there. So there is all the other scores from some of the other leagues up and down and around the world as well. So we've seen who's got into the FA Cup stuff. In the FA Cup so far, 2 games left in the FA Cup for this round. We've got in the game tomorrow night, which will not be covered by the next 2 FA Cup games, will not be covered by us here on the commentary. But tomorrow night, there's Doncaster Rovers against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. Then on Wednesday, it's the turn of Exeter City. Can they provide a shock against an informed Nottingham Forest side and knock out a Premier League side? And their Devon neighbours, Plymouth Argyle today, knocking out Liverpool. Find out by your own providers on Monday and Tuesday respectively. With myself, Russ Spinning, and Paul James, thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon for our second part of a double header in today's Super Sunday. For myself, Russ Spinning, Paul James, and the rest of the team in the commentary room, thank you very much for listening tonight. Join us tomorrow when we bring you the FA Cup 5th round draw, brought to you by Nicholas Jones tomorrow evening. And just before we go, Mini Radio Jingles in Gaming says, well, excellent commentary, Paul, and of course, absolutely fantastic commentary on the FA Cup 4th round shocker, Russ. Thank you very much for myself and Paul and for the rest of the team here. Hope you do enjoy those games as well. If you have not listened to it yet, go back to the channel and listen on the whichever channel you're tuned in on right now, and listen to Birmingham City against Newcastle United, because Nicholas Jones did excellent commentary on that one as well. So for myself, Russ, Paul, Nicholas, and the rest of the team here, thank you very much for listening. Join Nick tomorrow for the FA Cup 5th round draw. From all the team here, goodbye.